Coming up next on BBC Two, it's the Brad Woto stream, but first, it's time for What Picture Has Bradley Drawn Onto a Piece of Paper?
Check it out, it's my voice.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another incredible episode of Why Isn't My Music Playing? Why isn't it? There we go, that'll do. Why isn't my music playing? With guesses from the chat. I really do have to do something about that. I keep forgetting about it because it happens at the beginning of the stream, and then I do a whole stream and the whole stream happens and then I've forgotten. Alright, let's see if you can guess what I drew on a piece of paper today. The clue is that I didn't spend very long on it. So it's not complex. It's not a complex thing like a multi-headed dragon like Tiamat. It's not a complex thing like a drawing of a human man who needs to look like Otacon from the Metal Gear Solid series. A flying carpet isn't too complex, it's possible. A perfect circle's pretty complex. Slime from Dragon Quest, specific. A box. A cat. Oracle Rest. Or was it Postman Pat? No, you know what? You've got enough. You've got enough. Haven't you? Let's see if you can guess it. Oracle Rest. I love it. The Informed one. It is known as Oracle Rest. No? 9? Sorry, I meant an octagon. Listen. No, you didn't. Liar. You're a liar. It's all you'll ever be. You think it's a cat or a box? Perhaps it's Schrodinger's cat. It was a goblin. Cute little goblin. And that's all it was. You believe I'm still sick? This is crazy. Crazy. Alright, well, hi everyone, welcome to the stream. It's me, your boy, coming at you fresh from my deathbed. Hoping that you're all having a wonderful day so far. I definitely am. A little tired. I've done a lot of D&D this week. Did my own show on a Tuesday. I guested on Ungodly. I ran another show last night called Oracle's Rest, and we've got the final show of the week before it all starts again today as we play The Legend of Gary. This is... the adventure is called The Legend of Gary, isn't it? The show is called Twitch Plays D&D because you play it. But the legend lives on. Eons ago, there lived a single gnome. And his name was Gary. I wonder if my video will work today. Not this one. It does. Cool. I don't think Ungodly counts as anything close to D&D. No, it doesn't. There's no dice rolls. There's no game. PB's just completely done away with the whole point. She started out, she was like, yeah, I'll run a game and it will have like percentile die. And then she was slowly like, I think I'm just going to amp up the RP element. I think I'm just going to continue to amp up the RP element, maybe amp up some of the production value. You know what, I'm doing away with the game. We're just going to, here's your scripts. You're a director. You're a director. And a writer. You're making TV. What's the point? What's the fucking point? I finally broke through my DM's writer's block. Are you running a game? How many sessions in are you? Ungodly has scripts. I'm starting that rumor. I'm happy to start that rumor today. Everyone thinks it's scripted anyway, don't they? It's about as scripted as The Legend of Gary. Actually, nothing is. I'm writing a game. Alright, well, come back to me when you've finished it. Okay? I have no interest in DMs who are writing. I am only interested in people who have completed a full campaign. Because that's the real challenge. Everyone's writing a campaign. I'll see you when you're done with it. Now that's a challenge. Now that's a challenge. You come back when you're done. When you're done. You come back when you're done. No son of mine. Comes in with half an idea. Well, I thought of a campaign in my head. Run it. My Star Wars campaign has been going on for a year. I have more respect for you because you're actually running a campaign. Writing means rolling a few dice as we've seen. Correct. There is no writing that apparently goes on whatsoever, no matter how much effort you put into it. Do you still edit, Brad? Kinda edit stuff for myself. But the question you're truly trying to wheedle around as you smarm your way in here, as you are about to highlight a message and then you change your mind thinking better of highlighting the question that you truly want to ask is, do you still edit for a YouTuber that I know? Coward. These cowards. The irony is, if you came in and asked the question that you want to ask, I'd hate you for it. If you cowered away from the true question you want to ask, I hate you for it. Oh, how annoying. The worst streamer. Hi, Johan. Johan. Thank you for the 44-monther, my friend. How you doing? My bad. Should have highlighted the question. Nope. Completely went straight over his head, didn't it? This is what I'm saying, man. People only hear what they want to hear, man. People only hear what they want to hear. They don't listen. They take whatever you're saying and they mix it with a bunch of bullshit in their own heads. And it becomes something new. Something that you never said. Coward. That bit in Spider-Man where he's like, coward. Coward. Me screaming at all of you. No matter what you do, you're wrong. That's the key. That's all you really need to know. No matter what you do, you will always be wrong. You can never win. Found out I was paying for a service, for a TV service. I think it's called Now TV. Didn't know I was paying it. Been paying it for 3 years. My suspicion is that Emma paid for it. My suspicion is that Emma signed up for it. And that I've been paying for it. But that's why I wasn't aware of it. And I sat there and was like, cool, I've been paying for that for 3 years. Didn't even notice it coming out of my account every month. Just thought it was like one of many varying things coming out of the account that I needed. Wasn't anything, never used it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch Game of Thrones. And I now have until the 28th of August to watch the entirety of Game of Thrones. How much a month? Dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Get him out. He's supposed to be writing a... Why isn't he writing his campaign? You made a promise. You made an oath, Oathbreaker. Get him the fuck out of my sight. If you speak one more time today, one more. Shadow's gonna get ya. Look to the corners of the room. Motherfucker, there's a shadow. What's that behind you? Shadow. Gonna fucking get you, dude. He's there, man. Shadow's a great name for a fucking mod, isn't it? Yo, chill out. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was your stream, Ivan. Oh, I'm sorry. Does it say your name above the fucking door? Who the fuck are you, dude? You want me to chill the fuck out? You just fucking... You activated me. You've activated me, you fool. Get him out of my fucking sight, dude. You're gonna fucking... Shadow, drag these motherfuckers out of my sight, man. I swear to God, dude. Shadow is such a great name. I'm glad we modded Shadow for a meme, but now he has to work every day. I'm glad we modded Shadow for a meme, but now he has to work every day. Guards! My king's guard. Why does the Rolling Thunder keep speaking? What did I tell him? Shadow's a great name, innit? He's behind you. Gonna get you. Nothing scarier than a shadow. Gonna kill Renly Baratheon. He's gonna fucking kill Renly Baratheon before you know it, dude. Gonna get him. Fuck, it's hard watching. It's hard watching Shadow. It's hard watching Game of Thrones again, but you know everything that's gonna happen. Oh God, it's so difficult. Sitting there like knowing all of the awful shit that it... I'll tell you one thing that show does that's quite interesting that I have only just noticed on this second watch through is they will always do a scene where someone gives them the option to survive. For example, and I mean some people are kind of watching it, but I guess we'll just go with like, we'll just make up names here. Let's imagine that Elux Loschetti is about to kill Shadow the Red God in like 2 episodes from now. There will be a scene where Gabe will come to Shadow and be like, here, a bag of diamonds. It's enough to get you out of the city. Go back home to your father. Live a life away from all of this politics. And the person will be like, no, I'll stay. And you're screaming at the screen, dude. Get out! Get out of the city! Get the fuck out! And yeah, they do that a lot. There's always a scene a couple of episodes before where someone will be like, leave. Or they'll give them an option to get out. And then a few episodes later, they're dead. But you don't notice it when you're watching it the first time through. You don't really pick up on it because they're all kind of just a lot of people saying a lot of stuff. But it's very interesting how they almost all give someone an option to escape and then they die. There's always an option. There is always an option. Everyone wasting their subs before we begin, huh? Benevolent Brute, my boy. Cal, my son. You are my son. Thank you for the subs. Keep them coming. Waste them. Waste them early. With Shadow as a mod, shadow banning gets a whole new spin. Get him out of here. Get him out of here with his puns. Lux is a princess? Oh, absolutely. Have you seen Lux? Have you seen her? An Eastern beauty. Sitting on top of a fucking... a giant palatial throne. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Murdering people left, right and center. Well, she's a princess. Witness her. Witness how she acts. TomTom wants me to drink water. But I don't have any. The only thing I have that has liquid in it on this desk is some refreshing Optrex eye drops. These are the refreshing ones. I've got some that are for that are reducing the redness around my eyes because I'm so allergic to the pills that I'm on. But these ones are good, man. They sting your eyes, make you feel alive again. Makes you feel alive. Right, I guess I've got to go and get a drink. Should we just play D&D?
Yeah, let's play D&D. Let's play D&D, please, Braid.
Alright.
Under a tiny world will take a person only a matter of weeks to travel from one side to the other. Once a lush, verdant planet, Rexander's rain had stopped falling, or they'd stopped it. And how? Was this something to do with the warring empires? Was it a new unknown threat? Or perhaps it was the new Magitech and steam-powered technology from the Hutchtan Matriarchy or Kosus Renti. Long ago, the world was treated as an experiment by the gods. They were trying to discover the most powerful species they could make. Just a fun game for them became our world as we know it, in the finals of the Kraven trials. Humans faced off against Noms. The humans won. In a final test, the gods pitted the humans against the dragons. The dragons tore the world apart, leaving magic unstable, destroying any semblance of society. Now, after 1,000 years, the Mans have rebuilt. Two great kingdoms, constantly at war, and between them, the last forest. The only place of green in our dying world. And inside that forest, the last Nom. My name is Gary, and this is my story.
His name is Harry. There he is. It's time to continue our game that we've been playing weekly. What happened last week? I don't remember. Last week you made a sandcastle. The ship that you were flying on crashed. Everyone died on it except for Gary and Gary's party. In memoriam of those that fell, Gary made a sandcastle memorial and then turned it to glass with magical fire and took a piece for himself, a sand crystal. A creature appeared before Gary known as Saber and told Gary he would be the one told Gary that Saber would be the one to return the world to its previous state of rain and nature, because the world has been turned to, or the world is dying. Gary fought Shadow the Wreck God and won, pretty massively won as well. At the end of the fight, Seg gained some bat wings, or gained a bat wings cloak. I wonder if that's in here. The bat wings cloak. Cloak of the bat? Nope. But that basically gives him a flying speed. You also summoned up a merchant and bought a bunch of random things. Predominantly, you got how many charges of a tattoo? We had it on here somewhere. Yeah, 4 of them. Tattoo of Identify. I think I'll add it in here. And you are going to use one of them. The plan was to use one of them straight away on the crystal that you pulled from the thing. You also get resistance. So D&D damage types. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are 13 damage types in D&D. I'm just going to quickly I'm going to add these to a little list for myself because we need this every now and then, because you roll dice to get stuff, and quite often one of those things that comes up is immediately gaining resistance to a damage type. Should you get struck by that damage type at any point during this session, you will have you'll take half of the damage. So we'll start with that. Roll 1d13. 1. You have resistance to acid damage for today's session. So remember that, because I won't. Yeah, last week we made a villain. And the first of a recurring set of villains showed up. Saber and his lieutenants, Shadow the Wreck God, Molmoth, Ineg, and Korzath showed up. The Shadow, the Wreck God, was an Amnesu. Molmoth is a Bulazao. Ineg is a Krokatoic, and Korzath is an Abyssal Chicken, while Saber appears to be a sort of a shadow demon type creature. Thank you so much for the subs. Nayana, Shadow, Gothic Horror, Gabe. Kyrie was waiting to resub today, and that was stolen from her by Gabe. So even though she said that the other day, she was like, I'm going to wait till Sunday for my resub. And then Gabe came in and stole it out from right from under her. Can't believe he did that. Now, the I guess we'll start with a little thing here. Let's use one of 4. You only have 4 of these. You'd use Identify on Sand Crystal. You have 4 charges of this. This is how you'd like to start the day. Remember, you have 4 of these. They cost you like 50 gold or something to get one of these things. The choice is yours. As a reminder, this is an interactable stream. Currently, this stream is the only thing keeping food in my belly. I've learned how to cook this week as another thing to keep food in my belly, and I've been making batches of chili, and I made a big batch of chili, and I've been living off of it now for 2 days, and 3 days, and I think it might last me 2 more. So that's how I'm having to survive. This stream is interactable. You can microtransactions. You can pay to win. This is a pay to win D&D game. in which subs go towards a sub goal at the bottom here with the incentive at 10. Every 10 subs, we spin this big wheel, which has a bunch of different options on it. Encounters, potions, items, magical items, boss battles, next roll being a 20 or a 1, a trap, teleport, 25% XP, wild magic, apply a condition, you're cursed suddenly, deus ex machina, instant long rest, quadvantage, spin for the enemy, spin for your companion, a merchant appearing, resistance, and vulnerabilities. If you have any suggestions for these, send them to me at some point, because we might... anything that we can add to the wheel spin I think is worth doing because it's fun. That's how we spin the wheel. So that's how this stream works, as well as it just being a general game of D&D in which you will be able to roll for Gary when the time comes. He's finally succumbed to leftovers. It doesn't count as leftovers if it's created with the intention of it lasting for 4 days. Let's spin the wheel. Start the day with a wheel spin. What's it going to be? Wild Magic Surge. I have a D10,000 Wild Magic Surge table that we've been using for this express purpose. Let's go. 1D10,000. Wow, 9,565. Whoever wrote this table must have been running out of shit to come up with by the time this one came out. 9,565. The nearest paladin loses his immunity to disease. If I get 7 gift subs within the next 3 minutes, we will make the paladin at random. As it stands, neither Gary nor Seg nor the scorpion on Gary's back is a paladin, so these guys do not have this thing. But maybe there's a paladin nearby. The nearest paladin, how far away is he? How big is the world? It's 650 miles across. 1D650. He's only 189 miles away. And he is east of Gary. 150 miles away. For some reason over here. There is a paladin on a motocross bike. I hate that kid, by the way. I don't often wish death upon children. But hear me this day. I wish death upon this child. I know what you're thinking. That's fucked up, Brad. And if I believed in wishes, it would be. Okay, if I believed in magic, it'd be really fucked up, wouldn't it? Alright, Lux, Anonymous, and Shadow have decided not only to spin the wheel, which we will do immediately, but also that we're going to randomly build a paladin who loses his immunity. You also get cursed. You are also now cursed. Hey, try not to ride that into something. Try not to ride it directly into something and break your neck. Yeah, try... Yeah, try not to... Alright. 1,000... D1000. I found a 1,000 curses generator. 747. 747. Always trip and hurt ankle if chased. 1d4 damage. Do not let me forget this. Hey, I hope you don't fucking crash and I hope you don't crash and break your fucking neck. He doesn't wear any protective stuff, that kid. Another curse. Where is his curses here? Okay. If Gary is ever in a chase, he will fall over immediately and hurt his ankle and take 1d4 damage. But you've cursed Gary. Okay. Let's see. Will this work? Random character generator. I choose the class. Aha, Paladin. Oh, there we go. A Kenku Paladin called Smasher. Oath of Conquest. Spy background. Oh, that's an interesting character. Hey, I sure hope you don't. Hey, I sure hope you don't. Fuck, he's gone. Didn't hear me. Ideal, freedom. Chains are meant to be broken. Breaker of chains. Smasher of chains. As are those who would forge them. I'm trying to pay off an old debt I owe to a generous benefactor. Personal goal, duty, or live up to what you have sworn to do or die trying. Pride. Temptation is pride. Your deeds are noteworthy and no one takes note of them more often than you. High ability, strength, powerful, brawny, strong as an ox. Mannerism, makes constant jokes or puns. That Kenkus are like cursed to only be able to repeat things, right? Interaction, trait, quiet, values, tradition, lawful, protective. I think Smasher is walking along. We see Smasher, this Kenku, moving along in this desert, and suddenly she sneezes. And she says,
I didn't sneeze. I gave my nose a round of applause.
because she can only speak in jokes or puns. She can only speak in jokes or puns. Alright, Smasher exists in the world. Maya. It's Maya. Now Smasher is over here somewhere. Let's see if I can just have like... Is Kenku just like a thing? Yeah. There's a Kenku there. Called Smasher. Can only speak in puns. Lost her ability to be immune to diseases. Now maybe Smasher will appear later on in the game. I think I'll let the game decide for itself, because this game does do that from time to time. Okay. I think at this point, you know what? I think Gary starts moving. It's time to get Gary moving, isn't it? You didn't move at all last week. So it's time. Make a survival check. Gary is going to head west. You have a +4 to survival checks. Exclamation point, roll D20 in the chat room. Let's see if you can head west. As Gary and Seg pack up after their fight with Shadow the Wreck God. And start moving. This song is called Moving, by the way. That's why it's playing. They start. Gary, you see Gary pointing in one direction. Seg brings the bone mask down over his face like a helm. And they start moving in the direction that Gary sends them. Is it the correct direction? Are they going to head west towards the Hutchton Matriarchy? Or are they going to move... They're going to end up moving east towards Smasher. Oh yeah, we have to identify the crystal as well. Sorry, I forgot Hikir was here ruining everyone's life. An 11 +4, 15. I think you do move west. Gary starts moving west. Well, I guess you want to be moving in the direction of the Hutchton Matriarchy, which is kind of northwest at this point. Movement. Travel paces. In a day, you can move 18 miles stealthily, 24 miles normally, or at a fast pace, 30 miles. How fast does Gary travel? So the options are wild shape into a horse and move it's got 40 feet of movement. Gary's movement is 30 feet. So what is that? You could make it like... You could add an extra 10 miles on there. Wild shape and move 40 miles. Fast is 30 miles, but it is specifically unstealthy. Normal is 24 miles. Slow is 18 miles, but is stealthy. Choice is yours. The choice is yours. Now, while you vote, I'll tell you what this crystal does. After consuming one of his tattoos, you see... What does this button do? Gary learns as he's traveling the item properties of the sand crystal. This is a magical item of conjuration. Smashing this sand crystal on the ground will transport 1d3 random creatures within 120 feet of it to the Phantom Zone. That's what it does. Okay, you guys want a wild shape and move 40 miles. Both wild shapes. 2 charges used equals 50 miles. 1 charge used equals 40 miles. Both charges of Gary's wild shape. What'll it be? Checking he does have 2, yeah. One charge. Okay. Pretty overwhelming for 1 charge to be used. You're heading in the correct direction, which means you make it 40 miles, which is about there, in northwesterly direction. Before you encounter something, let's see here. Roll me a d20. Gary at one point transforms into a draft horse. Seg jumping onto his back as they gallop across the sands. Before Gary, and then Gary breaks out of that form. And they walk for a little further, because he can only be a wild shape for an hour, I think, right, Gary? Wild shape. Equal to half your druid level rounded down. So he can be that way for 2 hours. Eventually, after 2 hours, he breaks out of it, and they walk the rest of the way. The area you come to, is that what wins? A 16? We take the second roll every time. A 16. Night falls here in the desert. As you approach this next wonder. The moon in the sky stands above you. Glowing in the moonlight is a towering obelisk covered in runes that glow under this moonlight. Let's have Gary make me an investigation check. Actually, a perception check. Gary is a +0 to perception. Is that what you get, a 2? A 2. Gary looks over this obelisk. This large obelisk. And as he gets closer, Seg says, "Bloody hell. There's loads of them." Gary, looking around because of his 2D vision, couldn't figure out that there were 16 of these obelisks standing in a kind of a gridded pattern, like a 4x4 grid. Each of these obelisks is inscribed with a single rune which glows faintly in the moonlight. The obelisks are sort of covered in dust and sand, but each one is black and obsidian in colour. Some of them are sort of slightly tilted over with time, but there is a sort of mysterious energy to the air suggesting that these obelisks are connected in some way. Gary looks over these obelisks, but it doesn't really mean anything to Gary at this point. Just a set of obelisks standing, doing nothing in the desert. I guess I ask you, what does Gary do? The choice is yours. What does Gary do? Have a long rest? Investigate the runes and see what they say. Give the closest... Wow, I can't fucking type. Closest obelisk to gold dust. Find one looking for hidden cubby holes. Use a decoder ring. Cast fine traps. The choice is yours. Children of the chat room. What would you like to do? Investigate the runes and see what they say. Okay. Here's an idea of what it might look like. The obelisk. You can start rolling me some dice. Gary has a +2 to his investigation checks. A 10 +2. Gary starts taking a look at the runes on these obelisks. Now, they're runes, not it's not a language. It's not writing. but he can figure out what some of them mean. As he's moving around, he recognizes that not all of the obelisks here have runes on. Of the 16 obelisks, only 12 have runes on. The runes are, I'll write this down: earth, air, fire, water, spring, summer, fall, winter, new, waxing, fall, waning. Earth, air, fire, water, spring, summer, fall, winter, new, waxing, fall, and waning. I guess I ask again. What does Gary do? The choice is yours. Pour some water on the water obelisk. Stroke the fire obelisk. Hi, Last Socratic. Welcome in. Yeah, join in, man. Thanks for the 48-monther. You have contributed towards the spin wheel. Toss sand at the earth rune. Okay. Any other suggestions? Steam canteen on the wind one. Blow the wind one. All of the things, Kyrie. Just do everything until you get it right. Brute force. Brute force the puzzle. You know. Have absolutely no fun. Brute force the puzzle and win D&D. Obviously. The choice is yours. The cold desert air chilling Gary and Seg while they move around these obelisks. The plan is to pour some water on the water obelisk. Gary approaches the obelisk that has the rune of water on it. He looks about the thing and pulls out his water skin, popping the cork. He splashes water over the obelisk. Gets some on the rune, pours some at the base of the obelisk. Looks around. Did anything happen, Sig? No, nothing happened. Alright. Well, that didn't work. That's him stopping the water flask again. Nothing happened. By applying water to the water obelisk. I ask again. What does Gary do? I'll leave these ones up, but you can put some other options in if you'd like. Any other bright ideas now that we've tried that? Pour water on one of the blank obelisks. Detect any magic. Don't know what that means. You want to cast the spell Detect Magic. Bleed on an obelisk with no rune. Have Seg fly up to see if the lighted ones form a pattern. Can Gary cast a water spell at the water obelisk? A question, not an answer. Let's see. Have Seg fly up to see if the lighted ones form a pattern. Seg, with his new cloak, kind of adjusts the thing and says, right, let's see how this thing works. The cloak starts flapping like a bat. It's ugly the way he starts to fly, but he starts to raise up into the air, awkwardly moving up and then eventually gliding about above each of the obelisks, trying to determine if they're in any sort of pattern. This is going to require an investigation check from Seg, who has a -1, a 9. Gary shouts up to him, "Anything? Does it mean anything to you up there?" Seg says, "I don't know, they're just in a sort of a square pattern, all of them. The lighted ones lit up. They're all pretty lit up." "Aye, I know they're lit up. But is there a pattern to it?" "Well, there's a pattern of everything, isn't there? Whoa, there's a pattern of everything. They're all lit up on this side. On the same side." "Right, I knew that too, but like anything we don't know?" "No, not really. It's kind of fun up here." He continues to like glide around. Yeah, Seg notes and Gary notes that they're all lit up on one side, but they're only being lit up by the moonlight. The moonlight is what is lighting the runes, so obviously they would all only be lit up on one side. We ask again, what does Gary do? Any other bright ideas from the chat room? We can remove Stroke the Fire Obelisk. We can remove Steam Canteen on the wind one. Cast Moonbeam on them. Light a torch. I can't fucking type today. This is a disaster. Light a torch and examine the 4 obelisks without runes on them. Cast Minor Illusion. Make note of which ones the moon touches. Alright, we can probably get rid of this, 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 and this for now. What do you think, people of the chat room? Light a torch and examine the 4 obelisks without runes on them. Yeah, Gary pulls out some flint, lights a torch, and begins moving around the different obelisks as he holds the torchlight up to the 4 obelisks that have no runes on them. Doesn't appear to do anything. No runes light up, doesn't really do anything other than somewhat reflect the light back. These are sort of black obsidian obelisks. But nothing of note happens. What does Gary do next? To answer your question, does each elemental one line up with a blank one? No, they seem to be random. Pour water on all 4 blank obelisks and see if the water one reacts. Describe it one more time. There are 16 obelisks, 4 of which have nothing on them. 4 have earth, air, fire and water runes. 4 have spring, summer, fall and winter runes. And 4 have the new waxing, full and waning moons on them. They're all being lit up from the same side by the moon. They're in a kind of a grid pattern. Place the lit torch against the fire obelisk. Is the moon currently full? It is waxing crescent. What time of year is it and how are they grouped? It is summer, I think. I think I said it was summer last time. And they're grouped in a grid. Place the lit torch against the fire obelisk. Gary places the lit torch against the fire obelisk. Nothing happens. Any other suggestions? Go west. Inspect the obelisk with the current phase of the moon. Rephrase the question. I don't know what that means. Are the seasonal obelisks all together or spread out? They're all random. They're not grouped together. Are half the obelisks blank and the other half glowing? No. I have said it 500 times. There are 4 which are blank and the rest are not. 12 which are not. I love that you've decided to vote for a thing that you've already done that was still on there. Try again. I've added inspect the obelisk with the current phase of the moon, so the waxing moon. Inspect the obelisk with the current phase of the moon. Okay. Gabe's going for the Deus Ex Machina of spinning the wheel. This will be an investigation check. +2 to your investigation check. You can start rolling. Exclamation point. Roll D20 in the chat. Let's see if you can figure it out. Take the second roll. An 11. It was a +2, right? +2. A 13. Gary starts looking over the waxing moon obelisk here. Looking up at the waxing moon in the sky. Looking at the rune moving around the obelisk. There really isn't any direct correlation other than when he sort of maybe covers the light from the moon, you see the rune disappear. It is the moon that is lighting up the runes on each of these obelisks. But it doesn't seem to have any direct effect on this obelisk as he does that. Let's spin the wheel. Maybe you'll get something that will help you with this puzzle. Thank you, Chen. Thank you, Shadow. Thank you, Gabe. A magical item. Let's see what you get. Let's see what you get. Now I'm going to use a different table at this point. Okay, so this is 20 of them. You can roll me a d20, chat, to determine what you get. If you're very lucky, it'll be a magic item that solves puzzles. A potion of instant puzzle solving. We're not going to take that 8 from Shellbreaker. The next one. flush out all the old rolls. What magic item did you generate? An 18. So if this is a 20, this is an 18. Ammunition, +1 ammunition. Do you have a long-ranged weapon? You're a spellcaster. No. The Seg. Dagger, short bow, sling. Dagger. +1 dagger for Seg. Fuck it. I think Seg flying around up there. You hear him say, like, shout down. Oi! What's that? Gary says, what's what? Over there. Now, more to your left. More to your right. Yeah, there. Sort of like shining. What is that anyway? Gary moves around. Eventually he catches something away from one of the obelisks. He digs it out, uncovers some sand, and sees a sort of a shining blade. This thing is kind of a, it's got a green and gold pommel. The dagger itself curves in a slight way with some kind of interesting filigree towards the hilt. It looks pretty plain at first, but when Gary pulls it out and holds it up to the moonlight and looks it over, he realizes there's no wear and tear to this thing. It still appears to be sharp. There's no rust to it, and it's been sat out here in the salt and the sand and the weather for God knows how long. He recognizes this is probably a magical blade of some sort. He says, well, that's a beautiful blade. I think it may be a little magical. It's at least masterwork. Well, I've got no use for it. Do you want it? Seg immediately flies down, grabs it, flicks it up once, catches it, kind of does a little flourish in the air to check its weight, and says, oh yeah, that's beautiful. That is bloody beautiful. And he pops it in his pocket. Seg has a +1 dagger. Not a bad find. Not a bad find at all. A good magical item, but not one that will solve this puzzle for you. Okay. Now this is pay to win. If we get on the next wheel spin, I'll give you a clue for the puzzle. It is a pay to win game. So obviously if you give me money, you should be getting clues for puzzles, right? That's the rules. Hi Keeper, thanks for the resub. Yeah, the obelisk has a few things going on. Oh, he's done it already. Let's see. Before we write in this thing, I'll give you a clue about the obelisk. Gary's moving around the obelisks here, and he's looking up at the moon. He's sort of testing elements to do with it. It's a waxing moon. He's looking at the spring and summer sigils, and the fact that they light up with the moonlight really sort of sticks to Gary. It stands out to him. The obelisks here, whatever is happening is directly linked to the moonlight shining on the obelisks. That'll do. That's a good enough clue. What does Gary do? We'll take just some fresh answers. Some fresh answers. Cast Moonbeam. I enjoyed Oracle's Rest last night, even though Tuesday and PB made me cry. Wait, why? Use Seg's sanded down shield to reflect the moon to another obelisk. Minor illusion, a moon to light up the rest of the obelisks. Try moving an obelisk. Slash rotating. Cast absorb elements on a glowing elemental obelisk. Use a prism to refract the moonlight and spray them all with moonlight. Alright, we'll try these 6 first. Oh, you forgot to take your antidepressants, okay. Yep, there's an episode of Oracle's Rest up on Table Story. It'll be up on the YouTube channel in about an hour and a half if you want to watch that. Otherwise, there's a VOD from last night where we all played our game of D&D. We normally play offline. There were so many players, it was absolutely insane. It looked a little something like this. That's how many of them were in this game. It's a ridiculous amount of players. Yes, we definitely played a game last night. Yeah. Oh, you did? Did you get anything done? Different question. Use Seg's sanded down shield to reflect the moonlight to another obelisk. Okay. Seg can make me dexterity check. A 6. The moonlight coming down, Seg flying like a bat in the sky, pulls the shield off of his back and kind of tries to use the light to reflect the moonlight down onto the other obelisks. All that's really happening is there's just a horrible bunch of light just hitting Gary in the eyes while he's looking up watching Seg do this. Seg says, "Oh, fuck this, you try." And he throws the shield down, Captain America style. Boom! It lands in the sand in front of Gary. Gary can have a go as well. Make me a dexterity check. You have a +1 to dexterity here. Exclamation point. Roll d20 in the chat room. While you're doing this puzzle, every time we hit 10 subs, I'll give you another clue, and the clues will get bigger and more obvious every time you need another one. You will earn another clue. Oh, got a raging clue. Oh. A 16, is that? Yes. A 16 +1, a 17. Gary picks the shield up, this old sanded thing that was used a little while ago to reflect the magic off of a Medusa. Sort of... it's like a magic lighthouse that was doing a Medusa effect type thing. And turning people to stone. It turned Gary to stone. He hefts this thing up. My clue is pointing this way. And he starts shining the moonlight over the different obelisks. He shines it across the 4 that are lit up. Doesn't seem to have any effect on the moon ones. He shines it over the earth, air, fire and water obelisks. It doesn't seem to have any effect on those. He shines it over the spring, summer, fall and winter ones. Doesn't seem to have any effect on those. He then shines it over the 4 that have nothing on them. Doesn't seem to have any effect on those either. You make sure to try and get the shield to reflect light on the backs of some of these obelisks to see if that might be a thing here. On the sides of them, on the sides that don't have the runes, that are not on the sides with the light shining on them. That also doesn't seem to have an effect. Narrowing it down, but what does Gary do next? I'll leave some of these on here. Obviously, you don't want this one. Cast Moonbeam, Minor Illusion, a moon to light up the rest of the obelisks. It wouldn't work anyway. Try moving the obelisk. Cast Absorb Elements on a glowing elemental obelisk. Use a prism to reflect the moonlight and spray them all with moonlight. You kind of just did that. So, yeah. Any other options? What else are you thinking? The game is pay to win. For every 10 subs, you'll get a clue. Block out the moonlight. Are the runes all the same on the one facing the moon? The one facing... They're all facing the moon. The moonlight is what is lighting up all of the runes. It's like a magic ink. The moonlight is what is allowing the runes to be lit up. Cast Thorn Whip on the Earth obelisk. Eat Iron Bro. Go west. Kill Jester. Okay. Let's see, what does Gary do next? The choice, as always, is yours. The choice is yours. Shadow's getting bored. Try moving the obelisk. Shadow and Anonymous are getting very bored. Make me an athletics check, please. You have a -2 to athletics, even though you've got 6 arms. You're still small and frail. Exclamation point, roll d20. And we'll take the second roll. Thank you for the gift subs. I appreciate it. This is the only stream keeping my head afloat. Are we getting bored of the Legend of Gary? Do I need to come up with something else? What's going on? You sick of this? Do we need a new campaign? Do I need to kill Gary? Do I need to come up with something new to do on Sundays? I feel like you guys are getting bored of it. Less and less people are watching and subscribing, so you must be getting sick of it. That's the only way I can tell. A 7 -2 is a 5. All 6 of Gary's arms reach out and grab one of these obelisks. You can't move the obelisk. You do get a wheel spin. An encounter. Okay. The first clue. The clue that you get is that Oliver has been close. Oliver has so far come the closest to solving this puzzle. Oliver is the chosen one. Listen, Al-Gaib. Oliver is the only person in here who I'd be willing to play D&D with, and that includes the people that I play D&D with regularly. However, unfortunately for you, something edges close. Something dangerous lurks. I need like a danger theme. Oh, I have one. What's this? Apparently we made one at some point. We have a full OST for this. Let's see what is going to come at you here. Now there's 2 of you. What level is Gary? Level 4. And this could range from difficult to easy. We don't know. We just don't know. Let's roll a d10 and see what comes creeping out. Ooh. Okay. Gary's moving around these different obelisks, trying to figure out what to do, when suddenly there is a call, I guess, from above him. As Seg says, "Who's that?" Gary says, "Who's what? There's someone coming. Who's that?" "Well, you're the lookout. You're in the sky. What are you looking at? What do you see?" "Well, just someone walking towards you." "Nay, shambling towards Gary from behind one of the obelisks is a creature that can only be described as a White Walker from Game of Thrones. The sand underneath where this white steps turns to ice. The cold night air chills even further. Now let's see here. Now Seg is flying. Seg is currently 60 feet in the sky. We need a bunch of these obelisks, of which there are none. Like I do have absolutely tons of them, but I don't know where to find them. There we go. Monolith. Damn it. A white comes a wandering. God, the most annoying thing about Roll20 is when it does that. A white comes shambling out from behind one of these things. God damn it, they're all on the wrong bloody layer. It's time to roll initiative, guys. It's time. Seg flying in the air above you. Let's roll for the white. White goes on a turn of 6. Seg goes on a turn of 18. And Gary goes on a 15 plus 1, a 16. Okay. Going first is Seg, flying from high above. I mean, he's in a pretty good position. To fire a bunch of bloody short bow shots, I would say. He's flying around above. He's going to launch a short bow attack with a miss. Flying, thump. An arrow launches down towards this white. Ding! Hits the side of one of these obelisks. Seg misses on his attack. It is now Gary's turn. What does Gary do? Let me bring up the things that I have here. Physical attack. He does have like a new weapon, right? Cast a spell / wild shape. Heal. Doesn't need to heal. Run. Hide. Dodge. Item. Or get creative. The choice is yours. This creature moving across the desert towards you. An undead being. A zombie with sort of icy features. A mortal that was once a living man has turned into a shambling spirit of death, of undeath. The air around it chilled, the ground underfoot icing over with every step. The White Walkers. You shall need a large wall. Alright, cast a spell or wild shape is the plan. Which one? Cast a spell or wild shape? Which one do you want to do? Cast a spell. Alright. Which spell? So, you've got Thorn Whip. Infestation. These are cantrips. There's Fairy Fire, which will give you advantage on attack rolls against the creature. Ice Knife, which launches an ice knife at the thing and then it explodes. None of these other ones are that great. Enhance ability. Oh yeah, protection. You've got protection from evil and good, which will potentially give you stop this thing from being able to hurt you. Thunderwave's no good to you right now unless you want to run forward. I guess you could do it. Enhance ability will give you the ability to... The next thing we do, you're not playing a spellcaster. It's the most annoying thing. Trying to explain this to everyone. Or Moonbeam. I guess these are the options, really. The creature is 50 feet away from you. Moonbeam. Okay. Let's see what this does. Moonbeam. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the wording. Alright, Moonbeam. A 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. A silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. I'm guessing on the creature. When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain, and it makes a con save. It takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save. If it fails, it also instantly reverts to its original form if it's transformed. And you can move this thing around, I think. Okay. Gary casts Moonbeam. His 6 hands moving around in a particular way. You see this column of light, like a particle cannon, open up around this white, a huge cylinder that lights up the area slightly around them. And yeah, Gary casts Moonbeam. You're all at full health. I don't think there's anything else that Gary can really do here. So that brings us to the White's turn, which means he must make a Constitution saving throw at the beginning of his turn. So let's do that. And he's got to beat a 12. A 10, that's a fail. So he will take... Nothing happened to the obelisk with the Moonbeam. What was it? 2d10. Radiant damage on his turn. At the beginning of his turn here. Okay. You can use an action to move the beam up to 60 feet. Okay, well, he is going to move. He suddenly rushes forward, I think. Suddenly, this creature is rushing forward towards where Gary is. Gary turning. Oh, shit! This thing makes its way over to where Gary is. What is this? Okay. Oh, he has a longbow. You know what? He's going to fire his longbow at Seg. And you see this creature pull this longbow off his back and aim the longbow launching towards Seg on a 14. Seg's AC is really high. An 18. Yeah, flying around above him, the arrow launches past Seg's head. And the creature rushes up to where Gary is. And will attempt to drain Gary's life. Ooh, a natural 1. Roll me a d20, chat. We're not going to take that 17. We'll take the next roll. We have to flush out all the previous rolls. You pull up my crits. Melee crit fail table. It was a 17 anyway. Okay. This creature, it becomes worn out. And it takes a point of exhaustion. Can't become exhausted. It's immune to exhaustion. So nothing happens. Okay. Yeah, it reaches out towards Gary. Gary, stumbling backwards, avoids this creature's grasp. Seg. Seg is going to fly down towards where Gary is, but his flying is 60 feet. I think he's going to fly down, land on the ground, and fire his short bow with the intention of rushing over there on the next turn. Maybe he could throw this dagger. No. Fire the short bow, Seg. The arrow launches past the white, missing the creature, bringing us to Gary's turn again. What does Gary do? Physical attack. The creature is right next to him. Cast a spell. Heal. Run. Hide. Dodge. Item. Get creative. Cast a spell is also Wild Shape. Cast a spell is also Move Moonbeam. Cost you an action to move Moonbeam. Reminder, you can also potentially win this match by simply giving me money. You can spin the wheel. Maybe you'll get a Deus Ex Machina and the white will join your side forever. Maybe you'll get a spin for the enemy and they will become incredibly cursed. Maybe you'll teleport. Maybe your next roll will be a natural 20. Is the only stream of the week that I make any money on. So if you want to contribute to the stream and you're enjoying yourself today and have been enjoying The Legend of Gary, now is the chance to support the stream. Cast a spell. Okay. Which spell? Move Moonbeam over to the creature. Wild Shape. Now in this situation, what would be good would be, I suppose you could do Thorn Whip, you could do Infestation. Thank you so much, Lux, looking after the bot. Thunder Wave. Protection from evil and good. I think that's it really, isn't it? I guess that's it really. Theory, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Appreciate you. This is what remains of the paladin. There was an option that I was going to use that this could have been the paladin, but it wasn't. We randomize everything. This entire thing is randomized. We randomized the beginning of the campaign. We randomized the world, the setting, the story, the character. We randomized absolutely every single thing about this game, and I will continue to randomize as much of it as I possibly can because I think that's hilarious. Bew, my absolute fave. Thank you very much. Beth, thank you for the sub, and that is a wheel spin for you once we get back into it. Okay, your options for a spell: Thunderwave or Move Moonbeam. You've decided to do a Thunderwave. Let's see that through first, I think. Let's do the Thunderwave first. That's a level 1 spell. A wave of thunderous force. This is the wrong screen. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature within a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a con saving throw. On a failed save, they take 2d8 thunder damage and they're pushed 10 feet away from you. So, this creature must make a Constitution saving throw here and beat a 12. It fails. This thunder wave just emanates. This huge bomb of force pushes this creature back, and it takes 2d8 force damage. Wow. Roll double ones. It takes 2 damage and is pushed 10 feet. What was it? That looks like 15. It's pushed 10 feet back, stumbling backwards as Gary, all 6 of his arms push outwards. This force, this arcane energy just bursts from him. A thunderous boom audible out to 300 feet across the sound. Seg claps his hands to his ears like he does every time. No, the moonbeam is like here, right? I need a little thing that symbolizes a moonbeam. Right. I think the moonbeam was like there. It was where the creature was originally, right? So it was like there. Beginning to hate some of the stuff, the changes that Roll20 have made. Okay. Gary, is this Gary's turn? Yeah. Gary, move. Gary, move back. Yes. No. Like Gary to move. He can move out of the way. Then we'll spin the wheel. And then we will spin. Spin to win. My heart and sword. Always for spinning. Thank you very much, Lux. A second wheel spin on the horizon. Okay, move back. Yeah, okay. Gary's going to move a little back towards Seg, I think.
You go deal with him. I don't want to bloody deal with him. What is it? I don't know. It's a White Walker from Game of Thrones. Oh, shit. Well, how did they kill them? Dragon glass. I ain't got any dragon glass. I don't think we need dragon glass, do we? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Neither do I.
The two of them having a conversation as the creature begins to approach again. Is the White's turn. I don't think it can get all the way up here. I think it can get to here, really, because it has to go around this way. Gary can get to there, so I think that that would be fair of what he can do, and then the White can get to here. Okay, just a little out of range. Oh, no, it's got a longbow, I've just remembered. As it starts shambling forward, it pulls that longbow off its back again and fires one at Gary and one at Seg. Let's see here. 1, 2. A 6 versus Gary and an 18 versus Seg. Gary, that definitely misses as Gary. The arrow launching over the top of his head. And the second one, Seg's AC is 18. Makes it, breaks it. Here. Let's see. Why isn't this? 3 piercing damage. I am rolling very badly today. Lucky for you. Seg takes 3 piercing damage. The arrow, I think, just runs past Seg, and it does that thing where it opens the tiniest little cut on the back of his cheek where the mask isn't covering his face. And the White continues to sort of shamble forward. Isn't it 20, that second number? I've literally got no idea what you're looking at right now. What's he looking at? What's he saying to me? I don't know. Oh, we need to spin the wheel. Oh, Seg's AC. No, you might be right. I think it is. Next roll being a natural 20. Yes, Seg has 18 and 20 with the shield. That's right. Yes, Seg doesn't take any damage. Dong! It lands in his armor here. Your next roll is going to be a natural 20. It is Seg's turn. Seg is going to move forward and attempt to strike this creature with his sword. Natural 1. Roll me a d20. I won't make this be the natural 20. This is going to be a critical fail from Seg. We don't take that 8, we take the next one. The White shambling forward, firing arrows. Seg pulls his sword from its scabbard and rushes forward to meet the White, only to fail in some sort of critical way. Why does that only say 3, Lux? Shouldn't there be 5? Didn't you gift 5 subs? Why is that not working? A 3 from Lux, and you rolled a 3 as well. You go off balance and have disadvantage on your next attack. Okay. Seg has disadvantage on his next attack. And let me forget. I thought so too. Yeah, why did that not work? It's a little buggy, huh? Okay. It was 5 before. Alright. That's weird. So that's really at 8. It shouldn't change with any of the scenes. I haven't changed the scene. Oh, the pole scene? But it's on those scenes. Is that what it is? Hold on. That will help. Okay, so really it's at 7. Okay, 3 more for another wheel spin. Okay, so Seg doesn't take any damage, but he does have disadvantage on his next attack. No, it needs to be at 7, Gabe. Gary's turn. Now, whatever you do will be a natural 20. What does Gary do? Okay, that lets us reset it, and we're going to spin the wheel when we get back. So this is going to be physical attack, spell, wild shape. You don't need to heal. Run, hide, dodge, item, get creative. And get creative, by the way, for those of you that are potentially new here, is that I'll take suggestions from chat as to what you do. Spell is move Moonbeam, because it takes an action. The choice is yours. You know what I'm going to add to the wheel spin after this? I tell you what is a great idea. Deciduous Pine clipping that and then doing the slow zoom like that one, whatever that lumberjack meme is, of that one lumberjack that's like all hairy and he's like smiling and it zooms in on his face. It also works with the Willem Dafoe one and the Jack Nicholson one. Spell wild shape. Okay. Which one? Cast a spell. Wild shape. Sape. Move Moonbeam. Deciduous Pine. Every now and then I'm like, God damn it. I know he's watching me like a hawk. That son of a bitch is always watching. Always. He's always goddamn watching. Lurking and waiting. Waiting to get me. And upload to the GIF Discord channel. That GIF Discord channel, every now and then I go in there with trepidation. I'll creep in and have a little look. With nothing but fear in my heart. Move the moonbeam, they scream. Move it, move the moonbeam, please, God, please, move it. Okay, the moonbeam is 55 feet away, so you bring it over to the white. So we want this to be there. It is behind him, you just can't see it. Move Gary. Do we want Gary to move out of the way as well? Just type yes or no in the chat room. Does Gary want to stay right there or move? We can have Gary probably want to move back. He can move to here to get out of the way of the white, or he can stay there. Stay there, stay there. Okay, you want him to stay. Let's spin the wheel. It's time. Instant long rest. Damn. Gary gets the effects of an instant long rest. He gets his wild shape back. He gets full HP, but more importantly, he gets those spells back. He's back up to full. All of his level 3 spells, all of his level 4 spells. And that wild shape that he did lose that I didn't mark off on here returns. Nice. Okay, basically gets his spells back. Now I'm going to add to the wheel spin a new category. And it is called Recruit Smasher. It's now the highest weighted thing on there. Recruit Smasher. Smasher will be instantly recruited like an optional characters that you can get in like Suikoden and Final Fantasy, like Yuffie or whatever. You could potentially recruit Smasher. Now Smasher was the the Kenku Paladin that we randomly created earlier on. Kenku Paladin, Oath of Conquest, Spy, female, 44 years, with all this stuff. And we'll give her some like basic Paladin stuff going on. Is added to the wheel spin for today. For today only. The option to recruit Smasher is on the wheel spin. Okay, it's now the white's turn. The white, you didn't move, so I guess the white would move to here and try and attack you guys. Let's do, let's see what the white can do here. Oh yeah, life drain. 1 life drain towards Gary. On a 20, that's going to hit Gary, and then a longsword attack towards Seg. On a 16 is going to miss Seg. The Moonbeam does do damage, that's correct. Yeah, the Moonbeam. We need to make a con save. Beat a 12. Beats a 12, so it will take half of the Moonbeam damage, which was 2d10. Yeah. Oof. 14 on that, so it only takes 7 damage. Fucked out, didn't I? 7 damage from the Moonbeam as it rushes out and attempts to life drain Gary. 3 necrotic damage to Gary, but life drain, the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. Start rolling. Roll d20 in the chat. Or have its target, its hit point maximum reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken. A humanoid killed by this will rise 24 hours later as a zombie under the white's control. Gary has +1 to his Constitution saves. We don't take that 7. Next one. Next roll. Next roll, please. An 11 +1, and you had to beat a 13. You fail. Your hit point maximum is reduced. I'm getting rid of these temporary hit points. You don't have them anymore. 29 is your max, but really it's now only 26. The nat 20. What would that have been used for? This. Wouldn't it? Last Socratic is correct. The natural 20 undoes all of this. The creature reaching out towards Gary, gripping Gary's shoulder, draining the life from him as Gary breaks free, from the white's grasp just in time. He still takes that 3 necrotic damage, but he doesn't take the HP maximum reduction from this thing. Okay, it is Seg's turn. Seg has disadvantage on this attack as he attempts to swing his longsword at the creature. A 15, the white's AC, that hits the creature. Seg deals 7 slashing damage. To the white. Okay. It is Gary's turn. What does Gary do? Physical attack. Cast spell. Move Moonbeam. Wild Shape. You know what? We'll do cast spell. Move Moonbeam. Wild Shape. Heal. Run. Hide. Dodge. Creative. The choice is yours. Okay, I'm gonna add Recruit Smasher. To the wheel. Because that's fun. And we like fun, don't we, chat? Okay. So for today only, you have the option of getting a new party member on every wheel spin. There's 3 options. Dopey, thank you for the 10-month resub. How you doing, my friend? Move the Moonbeam is the plan here. Okay, those 3 big wedges should be Recruit Smasher. Well, let me check actually. Why is there only one? 1, 2, 3. Why do I only see it once up there? You are going to move the Moonbeam back over to where the white is. Done. Okay. Do you want Gary to move? If he moves, he may be attacked by the white with an attack of opportunity. You can just type it in the chat, yes or no. Insta Rage, thank you so much for those delicious subs. Another set coming in from Plum Rug with a wheel spin coming up right now. Is Recruit Smasher on there 3 times? I'm just going to make it black like a Kenku. And even though it'll look really weird, oh, I know why. These need to be a higher chance. That's what it is. Alright. Let's spin the wheel. As Gary ends his turn. Okay. Here we go. Recruiting Smasher. Is there like a paladin? There's no way. A Darrow Shadow anti-paladin. No. There was a Kenku, right? Yes, okay. Let's make a Kenku NPC. What level would you like this paladin to be, guys? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Oh, you think it's going to be that easy? If you would like the paladin to be level 2, you need to give me 10 gift subs. If you want the paladin to be level 3, you need to do it twice. You need to spin the wheel twice. If you want the paladin to be level 4, you've got to spin it 4 times. Okay. Now this is Smasher. A level 1 paladin. Medium humanoid. It worked. It worked. 1. Level 2. Alright. AC 16. Chainmail. Shield. Hit points 34. 4d10 plus 12. Speed 30 feet. Strength 16. Dex 8. What do Kenkus get? Kenku 5e. Just pick, okay. Con 16. Int 10. Wiz 13. Charisma 14. Saving throws. Wisdom 3. Charisma 4. Nuerg, Bubu, Plumrug, and Shadow. Charging the paladin right now. The more money you put into this paladin, the more powerful she becomes. Skills. Athletics 5. Persuasion 4. Religion 2. Passive perception is 11. Can only do mimicry. Challenge is irrelevant here. Okay. Level 3 paladin. Spellcasting. Caster level 3 at the moment. Fine. 4. A level 4 paladin. That's the maximum. So let's roll for more HP here. 2d10 plus 6. Wow, look at that roll. Maximum HP. which means 26 is 60 HP. Am I dumb? 34 plus 26. 60. Ambusher, Mimicry. Divine Strikes. Once per turn, when the paladin hits a creature with a melee weapon attack, they can deal an extra 2d8 radiant damage. How many of those do you get as a paladin? Oh, it's per spell slot. You can expend a spell slot to deal an extra 2d8 damage. Dueling. And the paladin is wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons. They gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. Included in the attack, which I will do in a moment. And then the spell casting here, hard to figure out. So the spell casting, the paladin's spell casting ability is charisma. Spell save DC 12 +4. The hit with spell attacks. Okay, that's all we need because I'll know what the spells are. Also, I'm going to give her an extra. We're going to go up to 18 strength for her ability modifier. You're welcome. You paid for an extra 2 fucking strength. Alright. Now, she's a dueler. So let's give her a long sword. You don't need two-handed. The hit is a 4, is a +4. No, it should be a +6. And this should be a D8 plus 2 for the dueling, 4 for strength, so +6, right? +4 for strength, +2 for the dueling damage. So she'll be doing a D8 +6 every hit. Pretty massive. Okay, now the spells. Bless. Command, which is hilarious because they're a Kenku and they can't really do it. Maybe we'll take a different one. Shield of Faith. Faith. Alright, Paladin spells 5e. So they should have. They get 3 first level spells. Right? else do we want here? Could take Compelled Duel, but they can't speak. Heroism, Divine Favor, or one of the smites. Take Divine Favor. All out damage. All out war. All out death. Okay. Is this correct? Wait, why does it say they have second level spells? You don't get second level spells yet. Did I fuck up this? Magic caster level. Oh. What level magic caster are you? 1? No. You should have 3 first level spell slots. Let's see what this does. This is hard to tell. That one, 2. Okay. Bless, Shield of Faith, and Divine Favor. An extra 2 to their strength. They've got Ambusher from being a Kenku, Mimicry from being a Kenku. Ambusher is that in the first round of combat, the Kenku has advantage on attack rolls against any creature it has surprised. The Kenku can mimic any sounds it has heard, including voices. A creature that hears the sounds, they can imitate everything, basically. They can add an extra 2d8 on there. I'm just going to put this in here as well, because I will forget it. Let's do this instead. I'm just going to add it into the attacks. You can consume one of these spells to just basically make it into a Divine Smite and add an extra 2d8 radiant damage. You can cast Divine Favor, which gives you an extra d4 of damage on every hit. You can cast Shield of Faith. A shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, running it +2 AC. And Bless, which gives everyone an extra d4 to varying rolls. Okay, what else would you potentially have? Christ. Okay. Smasher exists. It has been purchased as a DLC optional purchase from the chat room. For now, we will bring Smasher into the fight like this. Oh, you need so much more HP. I need to figure out this whole thing. Smasher has 60 HP. Now, they can only speak in puns. So I think what happens here is there's like a crack of divine light that splits the sky above you. Landing, superhero landing style, sword in the ground, plate armor or chainmail over this individual. A huge, absolute brick shithouse of a Kenku. Black feathers, huge black raven's beak, with like a helm that runs over parts of her body. The sword in the ground, a huge metal, oh crap, what are those metal gloves called? Over one hand, grips the sword, and she says, "In honor of Mother's Day, I'd like to say thank you for your cervix." They can only speak in puns. A gauntleted hand, pulls the sword up. You see light glow over the sword. Let's roll initiative. Smasher. A 0. Smasher rolls a 0. I thought it was broken, and I looked, and she rolled a natural 1. But that means she actually goes next. Let's spin the wheel. So how many wheel spins are there? 1. A boss battle. Okay, 2. A condition. Okay. Hold on. Let's get this condition. She's the Brienne of Tarth of Kenku. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 4. 1, 2. Blind, charm, deafen, exhausted. 1 level of exhaustion for Gary. You get the sense that Gary was the one that summoned Smasher. Even though he hadn't done it consciously, he had summoned a new recruit to his side. In doing so, it took a lot of energy from him. Gary takes 1 level of exhaustion. We spin the wheel again. My heart and sword, always for Demacia. You know what I should do is load up a bunch of stuff on the button press that's just Garen. Resistance. You get another resistance. You're currently resistant to acid damage. 1d13. And fire. Resistant to acid and fire damage right now. Is Gary. He grows stronger. What wheel spin is this for? Another encounter. Another white appears. Wandering out from behind, bizarrely, from behind one of these obelisks. Another white. Pulls out a longbow and aims it towards the grope. This is wheel spin 5, the final wheel spin. A trap. Oof. I think there is trap in this thing. Yeah. Gary, watching what's happening, looks over towards Smasher and says,
"Are you friend or foe?"
and I've got to find a pun. Smasher says, "I'm so grateful to have a friend like you." Gary says,
Hey, what the fuck is that?
as another white steps out from behind him.
Ah, shite, there's another one.
He brushes part of the obelisk here, activating one of the traps in the area. I need a dexterity saving throw from Gary. Gary has a +1 to dexterity. You can start rolling. Exclamation point, roll d20 in the chat room. My headcanon Thunderwave brought them. Maybe, yeah. More Pixels, thank you for the 47 months. Jaeger, thank you for the 20 gift subs. Jaeger, I know you've been enjoying a lot of the D&D content lately. I appreciate the subs. I hope it's been worth it. Shadow, thank you for the sub. Plumrug, Nuerg, Bew, and Insta Rage, thank you for spinning that wheel a few times there. Was the money worth it? No, because all it did was give you exhaustion and hurt you. But you did claim a brand new party member in Smasher, the Paladin Kenku. I will generate some art and a proper token for them in a bit. The winning roll is a natural 1. A mechanism goes off from underneath Gary's foot next to this obelisk. You hear this sort of deep rumbling sound coming from beneath the ground. A second later, the obelisk itself, a slight opening, and a spear launches out, piercing Gary for, fuck me, 2d10. Ooh. I rolled 2 natural 1s on that. Gary barely avoiding it, just a little wound opening in his side. It does knock him back, however, 5 feet as well. Towards, as he stumbles, Smasher puts one huge Kenku winged arm around Gary to stop him from falling, her sword in the other hand. Okay. It is possible for you to be impaled on that if you take enough damage, and then you have to make a strength check to get off of it. You only took 2 damage, so I don't think that happened to you with that trap there. The white urn now, as these whites are going to attempt to attack you guys. Unless I'm missing, did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Let's have the white. I think this white is going to strike and attack the boss battle I'm aware of. Not that, anything else. 2 longsword attacks towards Seg. Ting, ting. They just start battling. Seg parrying the white's sword as it attempts to attack him on a 9 and a 12 with 2 misses. This one moves around the side of this rock here and fires 2 longbow bolts. One towards Gary, one towards Smasher. 2 longbow bolts, I think I said. A 12 and a 7 is going to miss both of them, I think. Gary's AC is 14. And Smasher is 16. 2 arrows launch over the top of the head of Gary and Smasher. Smasher looks to Gary and then back to the whites. And how far away is this one? 35 feet. Smasher can't actually engage that one. I think they're going to go for this one. Smasher can't see the one that's a bit further away. So, for the sake of getting damage done, Smasher is going to open up here and strike with this longsword towards this white. I think it might be a good idea to use one of the Divine Strikes. What do you think, chat? Divine Strikes for the opening attack from Smasher? Yes or no in the chat. We don't need to go to a vote for it. Yeah? Okay. A longsword attack coming in. An 11. Never mind. Smasher rushing in. Wait, is attack is +6 correct? It might be higher. A 6 is a 4 plus proficiency of 2. Oh yeah, it is. Never mind. An 11. Smasher rushes forward. Tung, tung, tung. The chain on Smasher's large Kenku muscular form jangling as she rushes forward, bringing this longsword down. This white is currently engaged with Seg, brings the sword up. You hear the two swords scrape together as the white circles Seg's sword away from himself just in time to bring it up to stop Smasher's strike. A huge longsword strike comes down on this white and it brings its sword up. You see the creature pushed back towards the obelisk behind it as Smasher and Seg begin to attack it. Seg having his go now. Let's see what Seg can do. He is going to also attack with his sword. A 15 will hit, I think. Yes. Seg finds purchase, maybe from the advancing Smasher giving Seg the opening. He brings his sword down, opening another wound on this white. As bits of this white are falling off of it, it isn't bleeding, it isn't flesh that's falling off of it, but as the what sort of looks like flesh at first, and this sword comes down, rending bits of this white from it, they turn to ice and sort of water as it breaks off of this creature and lands in the sand. It is now Gary's turn. Now the moonbeam is underneath this white. Did I roll damage for this white on his turn? I don't think I did I? Let's see if it can. It is still fighting under the moonbeam. Con check. A 14 is enough to make it, but so it takes half of 2d10 damage. So it takes 6 damage. This one's real beat up, but still going. Just so I can remember that this is here, I'm going to do that. Okay, Gary's turn. What does Gary do? Physical attack, cast a spell, move the moonbeam, wild shape, heal, run, hide, dodge, or get creative. The choice is yours. Let's see. Big ups Divine Smash. It's the big ups to the Divine Smash. Okay, Gary is exhausted. I think that's it, right? I'm keeping track of all of these things to the best of my ability. Plan. All right, next vote makes it, breaks it between wild shape and get creative. Whoever votes 9 or 4 next will break this tie. Decide what we do. Wild shape or get creative. Time to wild shape. It has been decided by whole of a fist. Okay. Now the options of things that you can wild shape into are here: a draft horse, a lizard, a snake, a badger, an elk, a boar, a shark, which would be useless, a saber-toothed tiger, or a CR2 solid snake. I remind you that Solid Snake is really not much of a fighter. He is designed for sneaking. So horse, lizard, snake, badger, elk, boar, shark, tiger, solid snake. Again, reminder that is a giant lizard, a giant snake, a giant badger, an elk, a boar, a shark, a saber-toothed tiger, or solid snake. The choice is yours. The choice is yours, 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 yours. What will it be? Okay. Change into a tiger is the plan. Alright. There is a moment where Gary begins to bubble and change as his body shifts and his wild shape takes hold. He transforms into Saber-Tooth Tiger. He pulls out a yellow Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, whatever that thing is. It looks like a fucking belt buckle, doesn't it? Saber-Tooth Tiger! And transforms into a saber-toothed tiger before everyone's very eyes. Let's have a look at what the saber-toothed tiger can do. Bite and claw. If the tiger moves at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and then hits it with a claw attack on the same turn. I'll pull it up here so you can see too. The target must succeed on a DC 14 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. If the target is prone, the target can make one bite attack against it as a bonus action. And you have 40 feet of movement. I mean, are we running at this one? Yeah. We have to run it down mid, right? Run at this one and attempt the bite, pounce? Yes or no in the chat. Leave the choice to you. You may always have your agency. Yeah, okay. Gary transforms into a saber-toothed tiger. Again, there is like weird mutations to this saber-toothed tiger. Gary's giant, bulbous, pink glowing eyes on the side of this saber-toothed tiger's head. The bizarre mustard-coloured fur, similar to what Gary has with these giant purple tusks and weird mangled extra arms that are kind of stretch out from the torso of this saber-toothed tiger as it starts to rush and run and leap. It launches itself at this white. Okay, so the saber-toothed tiger must move 20 feet towards a creature and then hit it with a claw attack. Let's go. The AC is 14. Claw. 11. Leaping through the air towards this creature. You see the white, watch the thing, and these whites are not moving like mindless zombies. They retain some of their previous skills in life. The white ducks down, sticking his sword into the ground and using it to pivot underneath the saber-toothed tiger as cartoonishly all of these legs through the air as the saber-toothed tiger form of Gary launches over the top of this white, hitting the sand behind it, rolling over in the moonlight and jumping back up, shaking off all of the sand and the fur. It lands behind this white, missing his attack, unfortunately for Gary. It is now the white's turn. This doesn't break your concentration on this spell, does it? So this still potentially will do damage to this creature as the moonbeam, the column of radiant light, is still is still surrounding the first white here. He needs to make a con save and beat 12. At 21, he does so he'll only take half of this damage. 10. It's enough to kill it. The creature, while fighting off Smasher and Seg, dong, 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 his body burning and crisping in this moonbeam, this light. It's not really fire damage, it's radiant damage, and it's just kind of overwhelming him. Bit by bit, you see bits of him wisping away, turning and breaking off of him, turning to ice and melting in the sand below, before eventually he breaks entirely, shattering and sparking turning to tiny little bits of ice, his clothing and his sword falling to the ground as this one is defeated and destroyed. The moonbeam finishing him off as Seg and Smasher swing at him, and both of them, whoa, as this creature disappears. Seg turns to Smasher and says, "Did you do that?" Smasher can only speak in puns, and every time I speak to Smasher I regret it. You know what? You know what Smasher says? Smasher says, "No pun intended." Shaking her head. The other white is, however, going to attempt to strike at Gary. 2 longsword attacks. The first one being a natural 20. The saber-toothed tiger's AC is 12, so both of these are going to hit. 3 plus 3, and then a 4, as this deals 10 damage to the saber-toothed tiger. The saber-toothed tiger rolling over before coming up and seeing this white slashing and swiping at it. 2 wounds opening up on the flank of the saber-toothed tiger before we see Smasher running in. You want to see some artwork for Smasher? I think maybe she looks a little something like this. I'd smash her. Smasher. An armored Kenku covered, just a brick shithouse of a Kenku covered in heavy armor with muscles for this. Normally Kenkus are small and frail. This is an absolute beast of a woman as she rushes forward. Can she get to this white? Yes, she can. Rushing in here. Let's see if she can hit this time with the longsword attack. A 23 plus the divine strike. You see her running forward. Dung, 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 dung. She brings the blade up. As she brings it up through the air, you see a kind of a grouping of and a coalescing of divine and radiant energy initially begin at the cross guard of the blade, and then the blade kind of lights, not fire, not flame, but just becomes a sword of light and metal and steel as she brings this thing round and strikes the white, dealing 12 slashing damage and 8 radiant damage. Now the sword is not magical, so it only deals 6 damage to this white, but the magic damage does deal the full 8 to this creature as she brings this thing across the back of the white. Ice and icicles breaking off from the rear of this creature as Smasher ends her turn. Seg can fly 60 feet now, so I guess he has 60 feet movement. While wearing this cloak, you can use an action to speak its command word. This turns the cloak into a pair of bat wings. For 1 hour or until you repeat the word, the wings give you a flying speed of 60. When they disappear, you can't use them again. Okay, so currently he does actually have the ability to fly 60 feet. And I think that's what he does. He just dives forward, the wings coming into motion. Again, it's a weird way that he flies, but he kind of moves much quicker, flying around to the side and the flank of this white, bringing his sword down as he does so in his own attack. One-handed because he's holding a shield, and 8. He kind of slides in awkwardly, still not used to the abilities of flying and flight, bringing the sword in to strike and hit at the white bringing its sword across, now expecting an attack from the rear suddenly, and the two of them collide. It is Gary's turn. Gary is a saber-toothed tiger, so every time you transform, you just become an NPC, and I'm just playing D&D with myself. But I mean, you love watching me play games by myself. That's why you're here anyway. Auto battle. Yeah, you click auto battle, but it does mean that it goes quicker, right? So eventually, every game you play, auto battle. Bite is 1d10 plus 5. Claw is 2d6 plus 5, so this one's going to be better, so we'll attempt a claw attack again. And 19 is going to hit. Slashing damage. It is non-magical, so it only takes 5 slashing damage from this one. The white will attempt to strike at, I guess Gary, because Gary is the one that's doing all the damage. Let's see. No, you know what? 1 to Gary, 1 to Smasher. Gary on an 8, that's a miss. Smasher, 6, a miss. Smasher's turn. Do you want to use another spell slot for Divine Strikes? The choice is yours, yes or no, in the chat. It's time. Let's see if you can hit. The white has an AC of 14. So 13 is a miss anyway, so it doesn't matter. But think about it for the next time, because it could very well come back around to that. Seg striking at the white with a 16 is going to hit. Seg slicing for another 5 slashing damage from the creature. And I want to very quickly get rid of that wording because it annoys me every time I see it and confuses me. Okay, Gary, auto battle. Is a saber-toothed tiger, Brad. A claw attack. 10 is a miss. The white's turn. The white is going to attack Gary. And Smasher. Smasher's AC is a 16, so they both hit. 1, 2, 3 slashing damage to Gary. 3 slashing damage to Smasher. Smasher's turn. Divine Strikes. That's a lot of yeses. Bam. Natural 1. Roll me a d20, chat. Roll me a d20, chat. She's rolled a natural 1. A melee critical fail. There are consequences on this one. Not that 5, the next one. There will be consequences for your failure. Paladin Smasher. We need to figure out Smasher's god as well, don't we? Do Kenku have a god? We randomize it. A 17. Smasher takes a point of exhaustion as well. I don't know how that works for her, so we're just going to do this and hope I remember what that means. Winded and worn out. Pogasus, thank you so much for the 54-monther. She misses her strike. It is now Seg's turn. A natural 1 from Seg. Roll me another one, chat. The ones today from me have been unbelievable. The amount of ones I've rolled in here. The damage and everything. The initiative was a 1. This longsword attack was a 1. This life drain was a 1. The damage rolls, all those 1s, those double 1s there. Unreal. I need to make sure I don't go outside today. I'll get bloody run over. I'm not taking that 11. We'll take the next one. What's it going to be, boys? Tune in for PUBG tonight, where I'm going to play my worst games you've ever seen. What are the consequences of Seg's failure, chat? Exclamation point, roll d20. A 13. Overextends himself. Doesn't get a turn next turn. Gary's turn. Saber-tooth tiger. A claw attack. An 8. He misses. The white's turn. The white strikes at Gary. Miss. Strikes at... Oh, Smasher with a natural 20. 5 damage to Smasher. Seg misses a turn. Gary with the claw. This comes down to... I mean, what is going to... Oh, I keep clicking on Gary. Saber-tooth tiger. A claw attack from Gary. A 10 is a miss. The white's turn. The white strikes at Gary. 23 hits. Strikes at Smasher. 14 misses. Gary, saber-tooth tiger form, takes 11 slashing damage. I actually rolled high for once on the damage from the white. A sword strike running across the flank of the tiger. The tiger with all these wounds and blood. Growling as Gary gets struck by this creature again. Smasher is going to hit. A miss. Seg gets a turn. That one hits. Magic sword, he does the full damage. 8. Auto battle. Gary's turn again with the claw. A 17 is going to hit. 11, but it's non-magical damage. So it's half rounded down. He does 5 damage. Gary, so it's the white's turn again. A strike at Gary. A natural 20 again. A strike at Smasher with a miss. 6 damage to Gary. The creature goes now. No. Yes. No, that was its turn. It's Smasher's turn. Let's go, Smasher. Longsword. A natural 20. Do you want to pump Divine Strikes into this? Yes or no? Natural 20. Divine Strikes. It's got about 8 HP left. It's cost you a spell slot. You have got 2 left. 2 spell slots. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, here we go. 8 plus 4. So it's 5 damage from the slashing. Sword glows once more. 2d8 radiant damage. 9. Smasher brings this thing up into the air. You see the thing kind of glowing with magical radiant energy. The head removed from the white, rolling across the sand. And then the 2 whites defeated. Smasher standing there. Seg standing there, wings behind him. A giant fucking battle cat. Wounded, covered in cuts and bruises. Smasher a little wounded. Seg looking absolutely brand new. When you hear clapping from behind one of these pillars, another creature appears. Don't forget, you had a boss battle to deal with. This gaunt looking minotaur floats out from behind the pillar, its tail lashing below it. What would be a minotaur, your eyes adjust in the darkness to have, it has a sort of goat-like set of features. There is its legs hang down awkwardly and there are flies. This thing is gaunt in appearance, like a thin, malnourished goat-style minotaur floating out and clapping. If it stood up, it would probably stand to about 9 feet tall, but is extremely thin, and it's kind of floating on an icy storm that's coalescing underneath its where its feet are floating, the tail whipping and lashing, and where the tail moves through the air, it leaves a trail of blue ice that then falls to the ground behind it. The creature says,
very good, very good, yes. You have defeated my whites, but let's see how you do against me. Mulmoth, the second of the lieutenants of Saber.
and that is where we end today's session. You are still in combat, and we're going to pick it up there next Sunday, same time, 2 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. Eastern. You summoned up Mulmoth, the second lieutenant of 4 that we created last week, which was just in time for you to roll a boss battle. However, today you successfully managed to summon up a new companion, which is exciting. You now have Smasher with you. I'll make a proper token for Smasher for next week, but we do have this artwork, which is kind of cool. I mean, Smasher looks amazing. That's the fucking best bit of character artwork. Some of the character artwork that's come out in this is unbelievable. Where's my character art for Seg? Gary, Seg, and now Smasher appear. What a squad. You have a paladin that you supercharged just in time to fight a fiend, a demon, a devil. What are you? A demon. The demon will be fought next week. Cool looking squad, man. You do have a scorpion as well, but you do not want that scorpion fighting. It has 1 HP. It'll die. You want to kill it? Come on. You don't want to kill it, right? It was a good day. Yeah. A good day. But you do have a boss battle to fight. I'm going to adjust this Bulezo. I think it's Bulezo, isn't it? I'm going to adjust it because I think it makes more sense that those whites that were sent on a random encounter were sent by him. And I'm going to make him an ice Bulezo. So tune in for that next Sunday. Thank you again for watching. I hope you had fun. I really enjoy running these every week. Thank you for the people that supported. This is the only way I'm making money at the moment. I am not kidding when I tell you that if we don't spin that wheel a few times every Sunday, I will have to end the stream and go and get another job. That's how bad Twitch has gotten. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that this is that is dying right now on Twitch. Don't get me wrong, but it is killing me. So I'm glad to be doing these every week. I hope they're fun enough for you to watch, but I very much appreciate you guys supporting it. I hate monetizing stuff, but at least with this, we get something fun out of it. You know what I mean? The videos are on YouTube, yeah. I think you have to look under the live tag though. If you want other D&D content, there is currently I'm currently running 2 campaigns on Table Story. Well, I'm running one, a 3-shot. Cura on Tuesdays on Table Story is my main D&D campaign that I'm running at the moment, where I really try hard. If you want to see me not being silly and randomizing stuff and genuinely trying to write a cool adventure and run some players through it, then you can watch that on Tuesdays. And on Saturdays at the moment is Oracle's Rest, which is an offline campaign that I run for my friends, but we're going to run 3 sessions on Table Story. The last one episode of that has gone out, that has just gone live on YouTube, and will be available as VODs and stuff on Twitch as well. All of that's on Table Story. If you want more D&D content, head over there. Otherwise, if you want to watch more Legend of Gary, it'll be here next Sunday. Tomorrow I think maybe we'll do a game vote. We're going to play Slay the Princess as well at some point. But until then, I guess that's it. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep an eye out for maybe some PUBG later on, but don't hold your breath for me streaming it. I have no idea. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Peace.